Hello, and welcome back for another Firebird Nation Sports Update. I'm Patricia Thomas.
And I'm Eric Zedalis.
On this edition, I'll bring you an interview with the new women's basketball head coach, Dwayne Burrows. We have high hopes for Coach Burrows and the women's basketball program. There are some big changes in the women's game, but Coach Burrows is excited about the challenge and is confident his team will be ready for another winning season.
In our second profile, you will meet one of our student athletes, Clenso Brannon. Clenso is a senior forward for our men's basketball team. He's a young man with vision not only for his team, but for his career also.
But first, let's get you updated on the most recent Firebird action.
Fall sports have come to a close, and Firebird Nation is waiting with great anticipation for the 2015-16 winter sports season. Before we preview the men's and women's basketball and women's indoor track and field seasons, let's recap the terrific men's soccer, women's tennis, and women's cross-country seasons from this fall. The women's cross-country team completed the season with a 9th place showing at the East Coast Conference Championship meet in Brookville, New York. Greeted by perfect fall weather, the Firebirds turned in several individual season bests and a few personal best times at this 5K event hosted by LAU Post University. As she did for most of the season, junior Katiara Johnson led the UDC pack with a season best time of 21 minutes 55 seconds. Senior Simone Grant ended her cross-country career with a season best time of 22 minutes 11 seconds, and Jerilee Benjamin closed out her cross-country career with a personal best time of 23 minutes 24 seconds. The men's soccer team once again made some noise in the vaunted East Coast Conference with signature wins versus Mercy College, St. Thomas Aquinas College, and Damon College. The Firebirds also earned impressive non-conference wins on the road at Mercyhurst University and crosstown rival Washington Adventist University. However, with 6 league losses heading into their season finale, 3 of which were by 1-goal deficits and 2 which were in overtime, they fell short of placing in the top 4 of the ECC standings and failed to qualify for the program's first ever playoff berth. Midfielder Elio Hernandez had a stellar senior year, leading the Firebirds with 14 points on 4 goals and 6 assists. Hernandez had a foot in 10 of UDC's 26 goals this season. Defensively, the Firebirds were led by their standout senior goalkeeper Lewis Connor. A senior captain from Birmingham, England, Connor has ranked in the nation's top 20 for total saves all season long. He boasts 2 shutouts and a .690 save percentage. Heading into the team's season finale, Connor ranks 2nd on the school's all-time career saves list with 229. The women's tennis team completed another very successful season under head coach Dickie Mahaffey, finishing with an overall record of 5-5 and a 5-2 mark in East Coast Conference play. The Firebirds qualified for ECC postseason play for the 5th consecutive year, the 3rd consecutive as a number 3 seed. Along the way, UDC earned dominant 9-0 shutout wins versus ECC foes Malloy, Damon, and St. Thomas Aquinas, and edged the eventual ECC number 4 seed LAU Post 5-4. Ultimately, the Firebirds were defeated by number 2 seed and tournament host Queens 5-0 in the ECC semifinals. Sophomore Dominika Hadnadova and junior Elena Skopkina were both named All East Coast Conference. Dominika was a first-team selection with a 5-4 overall and 5-2 ECC mark, and Elena teamed up with Dominika at number 1 doubles for a record of 5-5. She was named 2nd team All-ECC. Looking ahead now to the 2015-16 winter season, the Firebirds have a lot to be excited about on the court and the track in the coming months. We'll start with an indoor track and field preview. In his 6th year as head coach of the UDC track and field program, Alton McKenzie and the Firebirds look to soar to new heights during this upcoming indoor season. Under McKenzie, UDC has captured 2 ECC indoor track and field championships in 2013 and 2014. Last year, despite a dominating display in the sprint events, the Firebirds placed 3rd behind powerhouse Roberts Wesleyan College and runner-up Georgian Court University. McKenzie returns 3 4x400 meter relay All-Americans in graduate student Jerilee Benjamin and seniors Simone Grant and Marlena Wright. as well as multiple All-ECC performer senior Brittany Ocon. Those four look to continue UDC's reign of dominance in the sprint events. Firebirds open the season on December 5th at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore Lidlifter Invitational. The UDC men's basketball program is steeped in history and winning tradition as the Firebirds boast the District of Columbia's first ever National Basketball Championship in 1982, as well as an NCAA runner-up finish in 1983. Third-year head coach Mike Riley would like to return the University of the District of Columbia to its place among Division II's basketball elite, and he may just have the talent to do so this upcoming season. Among the 6 returning student athletes from last year's team is big 6'5" forward and DC native Jaron Pope, who led the team with 6.6 rebounds per game and averaged 8 points per contest. Also, sharpshooter Omar Abbas returns for his senior year, coming off of an ECC third best 46.7% three-point shooting season last year. Riley and his staff also added 5 junior transfers: point guard Kasim Chandler from Division I Quinnipiac, guard Joseph Nickerson from Newark, New Jersey, guard Martin Campbell from Prince George's County, and forward Jayon Troutman and guard Virgil Fleming, both from Chicago. The UDC women's basketball program has enjoyed tremendous success over the last 4 years. 3 NCAA Division II tournament berths in 2012, 2014, and 2015, the program's first ECC tournament championship in 2014, and an ECC regular season championship in 2015, while setting a school single season record with 25 wins. Dwayne Burrows, an assistant coach for the past 3 years, who recruited most of the talent that helped create this recent Firebird dynasty, takes over as head coach this upcoming season. He inherits 7 returners from last year's team, which earned a number 3 seed in the NCAA East Regional Tournament. Among those returning student athletes are All-ECC honorable mention senior guard Tajruba Baldwin-Kalori and senior forward Tatiana Calhoun. Baldwin-Kalori was 3rd on the team last year in scoring and rebounding with 11.4 points and 3.3 rebounds per game. Calhoun was 13th in the ECC with 6.7 rebounds per game and 4th in the league in offensive rebounding with 3.9 offensive boards per game last year.
Dwayne Burrows is our new head women's basketball coach, but he is not new to the university. He has served as the assistant women's basketball coach and recruiting coordinator since 2011. Coach Burrows replaced Coach Lester Butler Jr., who was announced as the new head men's basketball coach at his alma mater, Virginia Union. We wish Coach Butler the very best. During his 3-year tenure as Butler's assistant coach, Burrows helped the Firebirds reach 3 NCAA tournaments, win the program's first East Coast Conference Tournament Championship and its first regular season ECC championship, as well as set school single-season records for wins, 25, and consecutive wins, 14. In 2014, the Firebirds were ranked as high as number 18 and finished number 22 in the final USA Today ESPN Coaches Poll. Welcome, Coach Burrows. It's wonderful to have an opportunity to talk to you today.
Thank you. It's nice being here.
In a different kind of way.
Yes, yes.
You have obviously experienced a tremendous amount of success throughout your coaching career. What have been your keys to success?
Hard work. I instill in my kids, well, I was always taught hard work. You know, the best way to get to the top is to work hard. And I instill that in my kids, of all the teams I've ever coached, that we have to work hard, and we have to work harder than the next team if we want to be one of the top teams.
And now that you've taken over the helm of this program and you are the leader, how will it be different?
Well, I will still continue to recruit student athletes that want to be here at UDC. I think it's a great opportunity, a great university, and a great opportunity for kids here in the Washington, D.C. area. I will always stay focused. I'll keep my kids focused, and we will continue to be successful. I think just because I will continue to recruit the student athletes that I want to recruit, and I will recruit kids who want to be here, and I think the fact that they want to be here, they'll work harder in the classroom and on the court to make us a success.
I know you've spent a great deal of time this summer recruiting and sitting in gymnasiums all over the area watching student athletes compete. What are some of the things that you look for when you're recruiting?
I like to see, of course, everyone wants to have the top athlete that they can get for their program. I like to see our kids operate off the court. And I want to see how they mingle with their fellow players, how they encourage their teammates when they're on the bench, or they're sitting on the bench if they're pouting or something like that. Those are kids we try to shy away from. But if a kid who's encouraging their teammates, while they're on the bench and the players are on the court, they're encouraging them. After the game, I still watch the kids to see how they operate with their parents and to see how they perform, with their peers as well. So I like to watch a lot of things off and on the court.
And coupled with the team's success, we've had some individuals who've done tremendous things within the conference and nationally as well. And I'm thinking of all East Coast Conference stars, Danica Brent and Talisha Turner, who completed their eligibility and moving on to greater things. How are you going to fill those voids?
Those are two individuals I don't think you can fill their voids. I just think this year we will have to be more of a team. It have to be more of a team concept. All 14 players that we have will have to be able to participate and do something do their part in order for us to be successful. It's not going to be, we won't be able to rely on Danica to score 20 points or Talisha to score 20, 25 points. If I can get 6 or 7 kids to score 8 to 10 points a night, I think we'll be successful that way. And I like that more. I like the team concept. I like the fact that the kids won't be dependent on one kid to score 20 points a night. They're going to know that everyone's going to have to score 8 to 10 in order for us to be successful. And I like that better.
And in addition to being outstanding student athletes, they certainly were young women of great character.
Yes.
How do you talk about and instill character in your student athletes?
I always try to encourage our student athletes that let them know from when we have our first meeting that you're not just representing yourself, you're representing your family, you're representing the university, you're representing the athletic department. So it's not about you any longer, it's about the team concept. And we all have to take care of each other. We all have to look out for each other. And I found out when they look out for their peers and they look out for each other, they say, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this because it wouldn't be acceptable for everyone else. So they'll back off and their peers will say, nah, come on, we're gonna go do something else to stay out of trouble. So I think that having that team family concept is huge within the basketball team.
And speaking of character, our rising senior Tatiana Calhoun is Miss University of the District of Columbia.
Yes.
How are you going to rely upon her this year and her leadership?
Just leadership qualities. Tatiana has been a strong individual for us for the last 3 years, and this is her senior year, and I wouldn't expect anything less from her. The part of being Miss UDC, I think, is fantastic. And I told her, she came to me earlier this spring and said, well, I don't know how I'm going to manage y'all. And I was like, Tatiana, we will manage it. Miss UDC is very exciting for you, and it's very exciting for us as well. And we will support you as a team throughout your entire process.
Let's shift, Coach, a little bit to basketball. The NCAA has made what I would describe as significant changes in the women's game, moving to quarters this year and making some other changes. What is your reaction to those changes?
I love it. It's changed, and a lot of people don't like change, and I've talked to coaches while I was out recruiting who were totally against it. But I said to them, I was reading, and maybe in the Washington Post, one of the guys had said that through your entire career, you play 4 quarters of basketball until you get to college. And then once you get to college, you play 2 halves. So I think as the kids coming in and just be doing the same thing that they've always done, always play 4 quarters of basketball. So I'm looking forward to it. I talked to a couple of kids, they're looking forward to it, something different. I think it's going to add some excitement to the women's game.
Yeah. And what are some of the other ways that you think it will impact the game?
Just the mere fact that you get 5 team fouls in each quarter. After that, you're shooting 2 free throws. That changed because you're used to 7.5.
Right.
Taking the ball out at the end of the game, you can advance it to half court. Or end of each quarter, you can advance it to half court. So now that 2 or 3 seconds left on the clock, you can get a pretty good shot in. Where if it's on the other end baseline, it's kind of hard in our game to get it that far. But it's going to be exciting. I'm looking to see how the officials react to it. It's an adjustment for everyone. The coaches reacting to it, and the officials reacting to it. I'm looking forward to our first scrimmage, so I can see how I will react to it as a coach, because now you have to coach differently. So.
You know, we're very, very proud members of the East Coast Conference, and I've had the opportunity to interview our Commissioner, Bob Dranoff. Can you talk about what the conference has done for your program and what it means to student athletes?
I just think it's a fantastic conference to be in, and I'm glad that we are part of the ECC. The kids really enjoy it because they get to meet the kids from the other school, you know, and they get to see the kids play. So like we may have a rivalry against a school, and I think that's pretty cool for the kids to have. Where when you were independent, you don't have that type of, you know, camaraderie with other schools. You know, they look forward to going up to LIU Post. We look forward to going to New York Tech and some of the other schools in the conference as well. And they like it because some of the schools, the gyms are smaller, and it's a great atmosphere for them to be in when the other school fans come in and they get to cheering and they're calling out kids' names because they know their name from the program. So it's fun, and it's nice to sit around and listen to the kids after the game and on a bus, how they get to talk about, you know, did you see this guy in the front row? He was calling my name, and you know, so it's interesting, and we like it like that.
That's
great.
great.
We really enjoy, the kids really enjoy being at the East Coast Conference, and so do I.
And so speaking of the conference, I'm very, very excited and pleased that we are hosting our conference men's and women's basketball championships in March. And I know that you've also planned to host a classic in November.
Yes.
And without looking too far ahead, how are you going to prepare our student athletes for the opportunity to compete in the conference championship, hopefully? Well, no pressure, Coach, but...
No pressure at all, I understand. Just, you know, from talking to some of the kids already, they're looking forward to, they talked about last year, like we were 25-5, we need to get back to the conference championship game. My thing is going to be when I meet with them, we have to go one day at a time. We got to start with, you know, preseason conditioning. Then once we get done with that, we start with, you know, our regular practice, and then the first game of the season. We just can't jump to, you know, the tournament that we're having here, the classic that we're going to host here, or the conference championship in March. We just have to go one game at a time. If we go one game at a time, I think we'll do pretty well.
Thank you very much. It's been great to have this conversation with you. And again, congratulations. Very, very pleased that you've accepted the position.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you lead the program this season.
Thank you. And I really appreciate you guys having me a part of your program and nominate me as your head coach. And I think I'll do a pretty good job for you.
I'm sure you will, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
As an integral part of the flagship university, the Department of Intercollegiate Athletics provides experiences that enhance the comprehensive development of students. With a commitment to excellence, the department embraces the overall mission of the NCAA with an emphasis on the Division II strategic positioning platform, which provides growth opportunities through academic achievement, learning in high-level athletic competition, and development of positive societal attitudes in service to community. In addition, the Department of Intercollegiate Athletics is committed to providing a game environment which respects fairness, courtesy, and ethical conduct towards others. Through this season of Firebird Nation Sports Update, we'll introduce you to the talented and gifted student athletes here at the University of the District of Columbia. Clenso Brannon III is one of them. Hello, Clenso.
Hi.
Welcome and thank you for joining me today.
No problem.
And congratulations on entering your senior years.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Pivotal time for you, really, really exciting as well. Very proud of everything that you've accomplished.
Thank you.
Can you talk to me about what you're studying here at the university and what your goals are?
I'm studying graphic design, and really my goal is to eventually graduate with my degree in graphic design and just find a job that fits me well and that's entitled in my field. So.
And since you obviously went to high school here in Washington, D.C., what attracted you about coming to the University of the District of Columbia as opposed to leaving the city and going elsewhere?
It was a no-brainer. I love my city, and I feel like this is the best part of the city, Northwest area, on Connecticut Avenue, and I just love the coaching staff and everything about the school.
Let's talk about the coaching staff. What has it been like for you playing for Coach Riley and his staff?
It's been great. You know, it had its ups and downs, but they definitely taught me a lot, and they taught me how to become a man, first and foremost. And the basketball part came second, so I'm still learning. I appreciate them a lot.
And you've enjoyed your teammates as well?
Yes.
How important are the East Coast Conference Championships? And I ask that question because, as you know, we're very excited that the university is hosting the championships in March. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me. It's actually great for our team. It's great for the city, period, to have something like this, something of this magnitude. And it's inspirational for our team to get us on the right track.
Okay.
Because we're hosting it, you know. We want to be here and we want to actually be playing instead of watching, so it's big for us.
Have you been preparing all summer as well?
Yes, I have, and I can say I know that some of my teammates have too as well. Hopefully everyone, because we're trying to get on the right track this year.
Let me shift back to your career goals, and I understand that you were interning this summer. Talk
Yes.
about that experience and what.
I actually was interning with mass media. I'm kind of everywhere with what I want to do, so I kind of just like to get in a lot of different fields, and I studied production and also put graphic design in it as well. I had to do a couple of websites for people, so it was funded by Microsoft and also SYP in Washington, D.C.
I see.
So.
That's great. And so obviously your faculty have prepared you very well for that internship and for moving ahead in the future.
Exactly, yeah.
That's wonderful. I'm going to ask you one more question and you know, give this a little bit of thought, but what advice would you offer to young people today?
Really just to stay focused. In this generation, there's a lot of things that can easily get us distracted. So to just stay focused on your goals and just stay positive.
Has being a student athlete helped you to focus?
A lot. I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for basketball. Basketball really made me stay focused with schoolwork and studying in general, because you know you have to get your grades together to even play. So it definitely kept me on track.
That's great. And again, congratulations, Clenso, and I wish you much success in the classroom as well as on the basketball court.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you this season.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great conversation you had with Clenso Brannon.
You know, it really has been rewarding, Eric, to watch Clenso over time from the sidelines grow as a student athlete. But I really enjoyed that in-depth personal conversation with him.
Yeah, and he figures to play prominently in this resurgence of the men's basketball program this year.
Absolutely. I believe that Clenso understands his role as a senior leader on the team, and I think that he's going to use the skills that he's developed to motivate his teammates to success on and off the court.
And then certainly another motivating factor will be that we're hosting the ECC Championship this year. He wants to bring that to his home city, and it'll be a very exciting opportunity.
Absolutely. He certainly realizes this opportunity, and again, I think that he's going to use his leadership skills to, again, motivate his teammates to be in that championship here in the nation's capital.
And then another great leader we've got is our new head women's basketball coach, Dwayne Burrows. Tell us about him.
Absolutely. And you know Dwayne has been an integral part of the women's success over our recent years, but seeing him at the helm of the program is really exciting. And I know that he's up for the challenge.
And he's been great with recruiting. He's recruited a lot of the star power we've had. It's been the driving force of this dynasty that we've had in the East Coast Conference and the East region. He's also a big, intimidating guy on the sideline. I think he'll just be a great fit at this institution.
Yes, he is. I think he is a gentle giant, but again, he was our primary recruiter, and it's going to be interesting to see how he transitions from the assistant role to the head coaching position. But thanks for watching the Firebird Nation Sports Update.
Please don't forget to follow Firebird Athletics on the web at udcfirebirds.com, on Twitter at UDCFirebirdFans, on Facebook, UDC Athletics, and on YouTube at UDC Athletics 1.
I'm Patricia Thomas.
I'm Eric Zedalis. See you next time.